So cloud portability is very important to organizations today, primarily from a commercial perspective. And that is to say that different cloud platforms will provide slightly different services, but in general, the assumption is that the provision of infrastructure in a dynamic manner is becoming increasingly commoditized. So what you want to be able to achieve in any organization is the safe and compliant and secure use of any infrastructure where that is a pure economy of scale. So you should be able to deploy and run your application on a particular environment, let's say Amazon, and then move over to another environment very easily. And if you are able to do that, that gives you a great deal of negotiating ability within the actual cloud provision space. And we're seeing that the barriers to cloud portability are beginning to reduce. They're by no means zero. So there are still issues with certain services being provided by some hypervisors and not others, and some containers and not others. So it's currently not absolutely seamless. But ultimately, the idea is that all infrastructure is commodity. And so therefore, if it's a commodity, but you're locked into a commodity, it's somewhat absurd. It's a bit like saying, well, you're only willing to buy a particular shade of gold, which doesn't make a lot of sense because all you're after is the gold. So from a cloud perspective, you want to be able to move to multiple cloud providers as the economics dictates. You may find certain geographies have access to particular platforms that are more accessible, better priced in that particular geography. And for practical reasons, you want the core application to be running on infrastructure that is perhaps in Australia. And so your ability to be able to make use of infrastructure as a pure commodity is really what cloud is all about. And organizations that don't develop applications that are able to do that are essentially locking themselves into particular vendors and to a particular set of cost economics that's quite difficult to get away from once you already have an application and a system up and running.